A couple things really make my workflow much better, and that's Creative Cloud Libraries, Adobe Stock, and Adobe Fonts. These services that just really make my workflow pretty seamless. And I'm going to just start out here in Illustrator. I already have it installed, so I'm going to click Open. Here it is. Here's the starter file that I'm working with, right? And typically when I'm working on a project, what I want to do is I want to create a Creative Cloud library that I can use those assets in other Adobe apps. So go to Window, down to Libraries. Open that up. You can see, again, this is just kind of organized by project, basically. I have this Atlas World. I really want to make a new one that's going to have its own assets, its colors, character styles, all that fun stuff. Just go right up here to the flyout menu, click Create New Library, just like that. And I'm going to type in EXPLORE, Explore California, because that is what this project is called. Clicking OK, this is where I get to access all my assets, and first I need to add them to this lovely library. So I'm going to select this graphic of California graphic, dragging it in there. It adds it as a graphic. I'm going to change the name of this. I'm just going to call it CA graphic, keeping it simple, right? I can select this square, and I don't want to drop in the square itself. What I actually want to do is I want to add this color. So right down here, for a lot of these assets, you'll get additional options. So in this case, add the fill color right in there. You can see it adds that fill color. All right, I want to add a couple more elements. I really want to add this, but really I need to finish this. And this brings me to Adobe Fonts, which I absolutely love. So right up here from the options menu at the top, you can see what I can do. First off, let's actually just take this text. I'm going to roll over some of these other options, and you can see it start to change that font, that graphic, based on the font that I'm rolling over, which is fantastic, right? I can click right here, and I can sort by a classification. So I want it to just have a fun sort of script flowing feeling. So that's why I'm selecting script, and I can roll through these and see what looks good, okay? So that's all I'm doing. I really like Lust Script. It's already installed. I could favorite it, and it will appear in my favorites list right here. But really what I wanna do is, if I'm not finding something on my desktop, I wanna grab and find more fonts available for me to use on Adobe Fonts. So I don't have these fonts installed yet, but I can, which is great. So again, kind of scrolling down through some of these. Ooh, this corner store looks really pretty good. Guess what? I can go ahead and activate that font from directly in Illustrator, right? And I can also favorite it, that sort of thing. And I could say that looks pretty good. But we can go beyond that, because I can sort through them this way, or I can actually jump out to the browser. So let me just open up a browser. Here's Adobe Fonts. I can search on fonts if I want to. Bellow is actually a fun font that I want right here. This Bellow font looks awesome. I can view that family like I'm doing right now, okay? And I can type in Endless Summer if I want, or just Summer, just to get an idea of what it looks like, and activate those fonts like so. So use the browser, use and sort using the app that you're using, right? Those are the two options, but right in here, I can go ahead and take a look. I'll just clear all. But at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and type in BELLO, and there it is, synced directly to Illustrator. And my next step is with this graphic. Check this out. I'm going to go back to this plus sign, clicking right there. Let's go ahead and add that fill color. Love that pink. Those are two colors that I want to use. I can add the text, okay, just to give you an idea of what that looks like. There's the text, like so. You can add the character style as well, paragraph style, and then the graphic in and of itself, that whole graphic, boom, added right there, and we'll just say tagline, just like that. So this is awesome. This library is accessible in my other Adobe desktop apps. So if I go to Photoshop or After Effects, whatever the case may be, I can access this content. But there's more I can do, because right up here, what if I want images? I can search Adobe Stock as well. I'll type in California, just like so. We can see I'm searching California in Adobe Stock, so just make sure you have Adobe Stock selected, because you can search other things as well. But from right in here, we can see a number of these apps. I really like how this is broken up even more. So I can save a preview to that library that I have created. We can see it sync like so. I can do Redwoods, and in this case, I'll go to Photos. And then we have these gorgeous redwood images that I might want to use as well. And again, I could purchase them, but I'm just going to save a preview to that library. I can always decide later on which ones I want to use and license them accordingly. So this library really ends up being my style guide for this project. And if we go back to our Creative Cloud desktop app, right up here, your work, like so, if we take a look right down here, Explore California, I can see all those assets. They look beautiful. I can scale them up. And what I can also do is share a link and also invite somebody else to work on this project with me. They can view, they can edit it, you get the idea. You don't have to go to the desktop app to do that. Notice also in Illustrator, from this flyout menu, right in here, you can go ahead and collaborate with someone else, allowing them to edit, or just share the link and lock the assets down. So there's a lot you can do with Creative Cloud libraries, Adobe fonts, and of course, Adobe Stock, all right from within the current app that you're using.